Carpe led out front as some moving and changing in the chasing. Guido Pini, as I said, led through the final corner. Alvaro Carpe adopted a wide left line, and just like he did in hair's breadth to go make his consecutive victories in the Junior GP class.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Assalamualaikum, halo semuanya. Jumpa lagi dengan Jubrian Satria di channel Bukan Pengawal. Apa kabar kalian? Saya doakan teman-teman semua selalu dalam kondisi baik dan sehat. Gelaran balap FIM Junior GP merupakan ajang favorit bagi para rider muda dari penjuru dunia sebelum ke jenjang lebih tinggi atau balap MotoGP. Gelaran Junior GP ini sudah bertahun-tahun melahirkan para juara dunia teman-teman, seperti Fabio Quartararo dan Alex Marquez. Di musim 2024 ada satu pembalap Indonesia yang ikut serta, yakni Arbi Aditama. Pembalap kelahiran Purworejo ini merupakan binaan Astra Honda Racing Team. Tahun 2024 adalah tahun ketiga bagi seorang Arbi Aditama di ajang Junior GP. Prestasi tertinggi Arbi Aditama di ajang ini adalah ketika dirinya berhasil juara di sirkuit Catalunya Barcelona pada tahun 2023 dan menjadi pembalap Indonesia pertama yang berhasil menjadi juara di ajang Junior GP.
Oh, now something has happened here. We will see it. It seems there might have been a change. First podium in the class. Absolutely superb ride as the Dunlop hat is thrown on top of him. Just a
Sayangnya di musim 2024 Arbi Aditama tidak dapat mengikuti dua seri di putaran awal karena masih dalam tahap pemulihan pasca cedera tangan. Berbeda dengan ajang Red Bull Rookies Cup yang menggunakan satu motor satu pabrikan teman-teman, di Junior GP motor yang digunakan dari berbagai pabrikan dengan regulasi mesin yang sama berkapasitas 250 cc, satu silinder, 4 tak, dan ukuran silinder 81 mm. Sebagai informasi, ada 4 nama pabrikan yang ikut andil dalam ajang Junior GP teman-teman, yakni Honda, KTM, CF Moto, dan Husqvarna. Oke teman-teman, di kesempatan kali ini admin akan berbagi video perjuangan seorang Arbi Aditama setelah pulih dari cedera tangan. Race seri keempat yang berlangsung di sirkuit Autodromo Internasional Argave. Silakan simak dan tonton videonya.
So we'll look ahead to race number 2 for Junior GP at Portimao. As Guido Pini leads away from Casey O'Gorman and Alvaro Carpe. Rosenthaler in 7th spot ahead of Samela and Uriarte, with Rios, Cruces and Mara running at row 6 ahead of Uchimi. Evan Belford took a top 10 in race number 1 of Aditama, Odaki, Shawil and Grenfell. And Puetisan row number 10 out of Magori. Jeffrey Emmanuel and Uetu with Loris Shonro.
Seconds away from lights out here. The eyes on the lights. The reds are up. It's time to go racing here in the Algarve, and it's a good start from the number 96 of Guido Pini. He cuts off Alvaro Carpe and drives straight into the middle. Pini will have the whole shot. Indeed he will not. Carpe makes a move into turn 1, and then it is Casey O'Gorman, Yambias and Keelan riders in the blue. And it's 54 of Jesus Rios, 2-time race winner, or 3-time race winner in this category already, who has got a good start and slotted into 4th position. Then it is the number 94, Facundo Yambias ahead of Jesus Rios. Max Keelan ahead of O'Gorman,
leading the way. I must apologise to Guido. His last race win in the European Talent Cup, no matter what I said earlier on, was at Valencia at the end of 2020. He was caught up in the crash on lap 1 in race number 1 earlier on today, but thankfully now for the former championship leader, he's still in the mix as he looks for a move on Alvaro Carpe, but at the moment in race 1. So great start from this top 6, really setting a scintillating pace so far, with 3 Estrella Galicia machines in the battles we saw in race number 1. But it's the top 2 from race 1 and 2nd and 3rd, but Jesus Rios, who's coming out to make amends from that for, it looks like Cormac Buchanan and Evan Belford. So Belford, we're bigging him up ahead of the race. Replay here. And it was indeed, Elvin Belford.
Collision between the two, isn't
Yeah,
there?
it was.
They've gone in separate crashes.
And once again today we're seeing a bike sitting on top.
Hasn't been on a podium so far. He is out to change that. A hugely talented rider on that Estrella Galicia machine, and he needs a cohort of Estrella Galicia riders.
As we see Cormac Buchanan coming into the pits. Interesting to point out there, Chris, that Keeler's fastest lap is 1 second slower than they were setting in race 1 earlier on today. So these hotter conditions are really taking a toll on the bikes and also on the tyres. It's a scorcher. Alvaro Carpi into Portimao corner. Here comes Jan Bias as well. Jan Bias was showing great form in the start of race 1, but dropped back down the order to 8th late on in the race. All the riders now. Casey O'Gorman on the other Australian Galicia machine, he's now finding form. As we see a rider, that's at the top of the hill going down to Craig Jones.
Is that Uriarte has gone down?
It is Uriarte actually. I was at Maros. He's gone down. What's happened here? We see the replay. The rider and he's gone on the curb. So that's
over the hill. That's not a good place to go down.
Curbs that they've been installing in around a lot of the tracks in the world. Really don't want to be running out there. As we just saw from Rossi, who's gone down and out. So his early season form is deserting him now. As we see another change for the lead potentially, Chris, with Carpi taking the lead.
Casey O'Gorman
almost tagging his teammate Keeles.
Yeah. Quite rightly, Casey O'Gorman pulling off a ballsy move, shall we say, going into turn 1, slip in behind Alvaro Carpe and push and drop Max Keeles into 3rd position. So Morosi has gone down just over the few corners ago, over the blind crest.
He came into Catalonia, he found the form again, took his first race win, made a double earlier on this morning, but it looks like
has plenty of winning experience, as does Alvaro Carpe. Casey O'Gorman debuted on a Junior GP podium this morning, and he's hungry for more, but it's going to be Pini, Rios, O'Gorman in positions as we come into turn 3 here at the Portimao circuit. Yambias has a little look up the inside of Keeles and pushes him back into 6th position. Yambias is in 5th.
Now this 12-wheeler might become a 20-wheeler any moment now.
Just a couple of seconds, but coming across the line, Guido Pini once again is at the front of a Junior GP race. This time, Jesus Rios is proving a thorn in the side of the Italian and pole sitter, but Casey O'Gorman pulling out to the right-hand side into the slipstream. Will he take the lead? He moves into 2nd position. Alvaro Carpe is once again in front, so it's all chopping.
Blasted past Guido Pini for a victory, and another rider that's making some moves. Jesus Rios, your former championship leader, back up the inside, as cool as you like, on the inside of Casey O'Gorman, the Irish rider who took his first podium earlier on today as well. He's looking for more silverware in race number 2. Guido Pini just behind. Yambias is right on the rear wheel of Pini, but it looks like Max Keeles.
Trust me, they are not. It's all guesswork. But it is Alvaro Carpe doing very little guessing out there. He's taking the lead. Jesus Rios just tucked in behind him. So is it going to be all change? We saw Guido Pini lead over the line last time and drop into 4th position. Jesus Rios is making an immediate move on the inside of the race 1 winner, Alvaro Carpe. Max Keeles pulling the wide line. Casey O'Gorman once again going through the centre. And Guido Pini gets a little bit of revenge, going from 3rd to 1st as they went from T15 to T1. So Pini, the Italian, the pole sitter, is back out in front.
And Salmella's right there with him already.
Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? He was bike-legged, about 7 bike legs back a couple of corners ago, and he's now already on the back of them. A lot of pocket rockets. He's as small as you can hit. Flying Finn, who was literally flying through the air yesterday, but thankfully was all okay, and he's now on the back of this leading group.
Yeah, it takes a lot to phase the Finn. He remains relatively cool under pressure, and as I mentioned, we saw this in Estoril. We saw him charge from deeper on the grid and set a score. Yeah, very much so. So Guido Pini, the star in the making, leads here ahead of Keeles and Rios. Things have settled down just a little bit, and as I say that, the STV like Lise rider Alvaro Carpe out of the seat a little bit and runs it wide. We'll see how costly that will be for the Spaniard as we take a look at the chasing pack, which involves South African rider Rush Mudley. They're just a little bit further back, battling among the final. A little bit of advantage, you would have to say. Carpe just not able to make inroads into Jesus Rios, but Max Keeles now finally set for his first podium. However, there is still a lot of track left to cover before they see the checkered flag. They've got, 5 more visits down this front straight. Casey O'Gorman and Facundo Yambias go side by side, with Gorman recovering the position from his Uruguayan teammate. Rico Salmela just
He's managed to catch this group, but hasn't made any inroads really into the riders ahead of him as he tucks into beginning to bubble over nicely, Liam.
Really is indeed bubbling over very well. And just how incredible Guido Pini's pace has been as we see a change between Rios and Quiles for second and third. That is the second fastest lap of the race, only a couple of hundred slower than Rico Salmella's fastest lap from about 5 or 6 laps ago. So it's just showing how brilliantly Guido Pini is able to keep his tyres in life and is really stretching
Sit up right,
that.
sunny side up. So what are we going to see here? Rush Mudley is leading this group. Eamon Odaki has crashed out, the Asia Talent Cup rider. For those of you who followed the Asia Talent Cup last year, Eamon Odaki, one of the main protagonists in that series. He did lose out in the title to Veda Pratama, Sir on the tarmac and rejoining, but all part of the learning curve for Odaki.
Well, on the last lap, I was just watching Yambias once again. It looks like he might have been just closing that gap back to the top 4, and he has. He was a couple of tenths faster than your race leader Guido Pini on that lap, so now he's got ahead of Casey O'Gorman once more. Yambias at number 94 on the Australia Galileo machine in 5th place is slowly starting to bridge that gap back to leaders, but ran in a little bit deep into turn 3 there, so that won't help his cause to try and catch this leading.
About to complete the next lap is another faller. Dodo Bodger, the 47, has gone down again.
4th crash of the day.
4 crashes today.
Turn 5 again has claimed him as a victim. Unbelievable.
Yes, a luckless day for the Italian. Hugely talented rider, and we've seen the very best of him in the European Talent Cup. Yellow flags at turn 10 and turn 12. That won't affect the lead group, but we'll see who went down shortly.
I think it might be Salmella.
No, Salmella is there, just
Salmella is there,
chasing in behind. So yeah, they have really cut adrift the chasing trio of Yambias, O'Gorman and Salmella. So it's between these 4 riders for victory as they go around turn 2. Who is this? It's Cesare Tiesi, who has crashed out of contention. He loses part of his bike there as well as he drives Italian.
Ooh, just slid out again, lost the front. Thankfully, okay, and the bike does I was going to say a 360, but it does a 360. The final lap is Guido Pini that leads away from Quiles and Carpe.
Yeah, Quiles making his move on Carpe side by side as they come over the line for the penultimate time. Next time they come over these corners, they'll see the checkered flag. So for the final time through turn 1, it's Guido Pini holding a significant advantage over Alvaro Carpe. He won't want to repeat of what happened last time, leading into the final corner. Carpe pipping him to victory. Ooh, Carpe has got a problem though on his side because Max Quiles is swarming all over his rear tyre. Quiles is still waiting for his maiden podium.
More than that, to close in on the Italian. Here comes Quiles chasing his first podium of the season. Have a look up the inside.
It is Jesus Rios in 4th position. He's making a move and Carpe is pulled out to the left, but Quiles looks like he's made a move for 2nd place and Carpe into 3rd. Guido Pini wins. A brilliant ride from the pole sitter, the debutant in the junior GP class. Sensational stuff. Quiles finally gets himself onto the podium, and Alvaro Carpe completes a truly excellent day's work. A P1 in race 1 and a P3 in race 2 to ignite his championship chase ahead of Jesus Rios.
Pini perfection in Portimao. You could not have asked for a better weekend for the Italian. His first race back after injury, his first round in the junior GP class, and he has just gone out and taken victory. What an absolute star Italy has on their hands with the number 96, Guido Pini. And what an inspired performance. He was just out front the entire race, reeling off fast lap. Guido Pini poses for a picture, his first of the season, his first race win of the season, and it's the first of many.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking, oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking.